This WAFL Colts broadcast is brought to you by Electrical Group Training. Considering a career as an electrician, visit egt.net.au to start your journey. Amy, when the bounce serves you a clanger, lucky you're with Amy. And Front Row Screens, your local streaming superheroes.
Yes, a very warm welcome to Mineral Resources Park. It is round 7 of the EGT WAFL Colts, Perth, hosting West Perth live here under Friday Night Lights, live on the WAFL official YouTube channel. Great to have your company for Friday Night Footy. My name is Ethan Roth, bringing you the action. It is Perth who sit 7th on the Colts ladder, hosting West Perth who sit in 4th position. Both teams, of course, coming off the state game by last week, so it should be ultra fresh. Looking at some team news for the game tonight. A handful of ins for Perth. Zach Cameron comes in. Tate Dalton on Colts debut. Big congratulations to him. Ruben Glover, Xavier Hills, Jasper Craddock and Declan Sleeth come in for the Demons, while just the 2 ins for West Perth. Jack Harris comes in for his first game since round 5, and Dylan Alone comes in for the Falcons as well. Players just getting ready for the opening bounce of this one. Perth have had a fair few games here under lights in season 2026. West Perth have had a few themselves, so it should be a fascinating battle as the season continues on of the EGT WAFL Colts. We're set to get underway here from Mineral Resources Park. One of 2 Friday night games, Peel hosting South Fremantle, which has gotten underway at Lane Group Stadium as well. We turn our attention here to Mineral Resources Park. Perth and West Perth looking to remain and stay alive in this competition. Still a long way to go, of course, but particularly for Perth, who sit 7th. West Perth, for their sake, will be looking to continue on and remain in the top 5, sitting 4th on the table. Players are ready, just waiting for the umpires to announce the ball and wait for the siren. And there it is. So here we go. EGT WAFL Colts, Friday Night Footy live from Mineral Resources Park. Wayne up in the ruck, gets the tap out for West Perth. Ketchup spending a lot more time inside to get the handball off to Sturch. Having to wait for it there was McGuan. He's circled by a Perth player and will have the first ball up, apart from the one at the very start. Wayne being in some impressive form for West Perth. Comes down, quick handball. West Perth get the quick clearance up towards half forward. Didn't get the purchase they were wanting off the boot. And good kick in the end there from French to recognise it, even if it wasn't 15. He gets the handball received back there from Fowler. They have to backtrack here and go right back out to Alone, who's back into the lineup, as I said, tonight. And boundary line wins out in the end. Taking it over there was Sewell. Of course, West Perth looking to get a bit of synergy without the likes of Kobe LaCroix, who's been out of their team for a fair while. Campbell Creek, who's still on PSA duties. Rafe Williamson as well. Day 18s, of course, continue on with their trial games towards the championships. Some opportunity for other players to step up in recent weeks. Bouncing ball there over the head of Barr. We'll have to just track it here as the ball comes towards the middle of the ground. Ketchup was too hot for him, but well enough to get a handball out against Sturch, who just holds his nerve to go out wide for the short kick, finding Spain. Spain goes short and on a searching lead, finds his target in the form of Barr. Barr. No real obvious option up forward, so taking the mark quite comfortably in the end was Barraclough. He goes across the ground to McGuan. A bit too much perch on the kick there for Fowler. Allowed Sturch to run on to the end of it. In fact, it was Cameron Zach Cameron, that is. The Warner comes over to support Sturch. There he is now. Puts his head over it, but can't break away from a couple of Falcons. Wayne gets the hit out. Jones really coming to his own in this WAFL Colts season. Into the middle of the ground. Carl's had his arm pin, and that allowed the West Perth player to attack it in the form of Ivan Kovic. And Maring can go back to Barr, who's had a couple of touches early. There he goes long down the line in a one-on-one. Getting a fist to it there was Boxer. And ball just remains on the half-forward flank. Having a clear run and jump at it. Grabbing out of the ruck was Dunlop, but never looked likely. And that'll be out of bounds on the full. Cool conditions here at Mineral Resources Park. Beautiful night though for footy overall. West Perth looking to bring it back out. His Fitch showed some incredible athleticism in the pre-season combine testing, playing in the helmet. They clear the ball now through Bowers, through the heart of the ground. A bit too much on the end of it, although dropping the mark, usually expect to be taken. Perth. Cameron set into the lineup tonight. Just misfired the kick there. Wanted Workman, who wraps up his opponent. Didn't give up on the contest. Coming over to support. Stripped of it in the end was Sleeth. Again, another inclusion tonight. And he also just has to settle for a stoppage. Wayne was in two minds there about grabbing the ball. Here is Ketchup, manages to keep it in, not quite in the end. And boundary line on the broadcast side here, just under, or just over, under 5 minutes gone. This opening term, EGT WAFL Colts, live on the WAFL official YouTube channel. Wayne pushes the opponent legally out of it. Jones on the end of it shows his speed. He wants to get the 1-2 here. His teammates on the same page. Going to be caught though in the end, and tremendous effort to not give up there by Lucas Warner. Great tackle. He's rewarded with the free kick. Pumps it long down the line. What tall timber is he after? Potentially an arm being held, and umpire, that's the way he saw it as well. To Hills. Hills is going to be called to play on. It's a wee bit of wobbler off the boot. West Perth defence weren't expecting it whatsoever. Going on hands and knees there was Ivan Kovic. And in the end, boundary line, probably not the worst result for Perth, as it's locked into their forward 50. Neither team yet to score in this one. Who's going to break the deadlock? Could it be a Perth forward at this end of the ground? Double tap there from Wayne. Starting to make an impact early. Holding free kick. Bit too obvious to miss for the ump. And West Perth, through alone, can go right back to fullback. Here's Boxer. Some would say unlucky to not make the State 18's squad, but there's a lot of good defenders in that squad, so who knows? Late call-up might be on the cards if he continue up his form. The West Perth co-captain. Side Hunter Buick for season 2026. Barraclough looking to stretch. That kick not hitting the target. Perth apply the pressure, but they do well enough to Barraclough to clear, and he gets the handball received back as well. Not his best kick off the boot. Alone does well to trap it. Coming across to help was Dwyer. Got the handball out back to Alone. Happy to go by hand at the moment with the Falcons. They don't want to overuse it. Jones can assess his options. On the brink of half forward, a bit too much on the end of it there, and on the third bite of the cherry, Perth through Cameron take the safe mark. Again, failed target hit there. Handball and hope more than anything from Barr. Comes across to Ketchup. Ketchup combines in the middle, reaching over the top and at the end. Dunlop. Paul, who made his debut a couple of weeks ago against Claremont on this very ground, and a big loss, but he kicked a couple of goals himself, finds himself back here, pushes the opponent off the ball Maring, but looks like Jones, or rather it's Harris, conclusion for tonight, putting his head over it. Dalton going into the ruck now, number 62, the highest number out there for both teams tonight in terms of Guernseys are concerned. Comes over the top. They have to go back to go forward. Maybe a kick was a better option there from Spain, and his teammates under pressure, and unfortunately for their sake, worst possible result. West Perth can have a shot from a tough degree of difficulty. Dufresne, speaking of good form, a real barometer in this West Perth side. It looks like he's going to have the shot from the boundary. Neither team has to score just yet. It stays in the field of play and they knock it through. So West Perth do score the first of the night through the minor behind. They lead 1 single point. 16 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Perth yet to score as they come out of full back. Dalton did really well to protect the space there. Gave the handball off to Burnell. West Perth having other ideas to knock it out. Ball thrown in. The Rucks go at it. Big tap there came from Bowers. Alone. Has time to assess his options. Again, impact of the kick not great. Comes the way of Jones, who just tracks it. He's second to the ball now. Umpire. It's a free kick to West Perth, in fact. Perth can't believe it. And the free kick is going to go to the Falcons through that player that I mentioned in the form of Lachlan Jones. Similar position to where Dufresne had that last kick, although quite a bit closer. Looks like he's going to go for the conventional drop punt. Maybe the check side. It is the drop punt. It was a right to lefter, but West Perth are on the board for their first goal. And it comes the way of Lachlan Jones. Disguised it well and snuck it in. So the Falcons strike first here. Took a little while, but the Falcons are on the board for their first. They lead by 7 points here at Mineral Resources Park. Just a couple of games into his Colts career, Lachlan Jones. It's a nice way to kickstart his evening. Back in the middle once more. Dalton and that player kicked the goal, and Jones doing the ruck duties. Wins it out of the ruck. Dalton, and then slams it as far as he possibly can. Gave Ketchup a chance, as to gave a chance there to Durrock. Kept it well. The ball inside the field of play. Couldn't have done better in that sense. Barraclough running out of her back, goes to Fitch. Fitch caught in two minds, had to backtrack. The pressure comes for Perth. Nice caressing ball. Boxar just left his teammate to get that one. Might run past for the handball here though. Back into the corridor. Again, misfired kick, but it might work out okay. They've got the runners alone. Has Fitch by his side, but he was running the wrong way. Short little kick's okay. Again, another floater in the direction of French. Numbers come. Handball now to Roost. French, can he fend off an opponent? He gives it off there to Bowers. Bowers, can he sneak this in? He can. West Perth starting to find their mojo. And it comes through Max Bowers, who kicks his first goal of the evening. $13 points now to West Perth. A couple of goals their way. Perth wanting to get a bit more bang for buck. That was superb ruck to Roving there out of the middle. Wayne couldn't quite stick the mark in the end, drifting forward after starting in the centre circle. Workman as a player running for him on the far side. Just pops it in front of Kaluk to run onto. It was the right idea in mind, but didn't quite work out the way that they planned. And umpires just having a little bit of a consult here. Will be a boundary throw in the call. Barraclough starting to get busy. 9 disposals out of the back half for West Perth. Blake Jones up to 8. Big punch there from Sturch. Just tried to gain as much meterage as he could. Comes back his way. He doesn't have a lot of support by him, just has to take the tackle in the end. Jones. Both Joneses there combining. Hand pass for Roost. Roost comes out of his grasp. Cameron, he can't reel it in as well. Players from both sides saying dragged it in. Umpire not having any of it. We'll have a ball up. Dalton. Workman, that'll be a high free kick. Zach Workman had a really good WAFL Colts season, highlighted by 22 disposals and 3 goals against East Perth on Anzac Day on this very ground. Hits up his target there in Sleeth. Sleeth inside 50. Running back there was Sturch. Trying to come through Darrow. West Perth under a bit of pressure here. Still yet to concede. Trying to grab it out there. Got the handball out. Glover. Quick kick. That won't be 15 metres. Jones and a bit of a fumble there. He'll get it back though. And pass out and West Perth can clear. Mongrel off the boot, but that sometimes works out. Lafrane, the target. And just gives his forwards a chance, but running back with a flight and turning the wrong side were the Falcons, and that a safe mark taken to Garrett. Cameron now. Got a fair few left footers in this side to Perth. A couple of them combined there. Sturch again just mistimed it, but doesn't give up on the effort, and the ferociousness was on full display there and couldn't have done better to lock that one in. Dunlop. The ball not coming out anytime soon. Around the corner from Workman. Umpire deemed that not a mark. Box up. Torpedoes it as long as he possibly can. Too much in the end there for Lafrane, but he's going to apply the pressure. Comes into the hands there of Harris, and umpire said your fend off was your prior, caught holding the ball. Carl's a good lockdown tackle. Umpire says that's not 15. Darmody down the line. Intercepted though. That one almost done the other way. Wayne, first to the ball there. Good athleticism from their big man. Jones, interesting decision to go by foot, especially considering he put a lot of pressure into that kick. And then speaking of athleticism, the big man and Dunlop can take a run on the bounce. Pumps it inside 50. Playing from behind there is Hills. Cavalry arrive for Perth. They have to backtrack. And mark taken there by Fitch. Just playing in front there of Moffitt. Feel like for Perth, if they can just get one on the board, that might be able to open up the floodgates a little bit. But credit to West Perth for being able to hold them down for now. That ball's going to be intercepted. Bit of back and forth footy in this first quarter. Spain, can he hit up a target? He sure can. And Moffitt, who kicked a long goal from this range, probably further than this in the end against East Perth on debut, can go back, and we know it's a long kick of the footy, so the journey should not be an issue for him here. It's just a matter of accuracy to get Perth on the board in one way or another. He's hoping it'll be a goal though. And a goal it is, deja vu. He loves the long range set shots, does Will Moffitt. That's no exception. Perth on the board and getting towards the latter stages of the first quarter. That's much needed for the home side. Will Moffitt opens proceedings for Perth. One disposal, one goal. So complete efficiency. Hopefully for his sake he can work into the game on the back of that. Wayne gets the 1-2 for the Falcons. Look to break clear again. Nice pick up there by Grellook. Workman caught, but no price at the umpire. Dunlop down the way of Workman to the tip of the goal square. Ball's just going to beat small forwards for Perth. They do register their first behind of the night though, so one straight goal separates the sides. Wayne on a searching lead should take that, although good fist coming late from the Demons. Here it screams of ball from the sideline. Umpire said not quite. There's a couple of options there for Perth. One of them was pull. Clean rip out of the pack there, but just caught the wrong side of his foot. Did the shot of Sleeth for a behind. Interesting to see where these two teams land in season 2026. West Perth making finals last year, getting to the second week before being knocked out by Claremont. Of course, a lot of team changes. Perth missing out in the finals, but not far off. They've got a new coach in Aaron Valentine, another year under Steve Chapman's belt in terms of coaching. So West Perth probably primed to go a bit further this year based on coming into the season, but Perth with a point to prove, and they've had some glimpses, to say the least, in season 2026. A bit of inconsistency as well, but a reflection of how good the competition as a whole. As Ketchup's just caught holding the ball there. Jones deframed did everything right, but ball did fall back into his grasp. Didn't see Ketchup. Luckily that kick didn't impact too much. Wayne posing himself on the contest. Good run and jump there, and taking it on the second attempt. It was Warner. It was a real reliable option in the back half as a medium-sized defender. Nice mark there, taking him, floating him from the side from Dalton. Chipping ball's a good one for Ketchup as well. A good sign there for the first game of Ketchup. Recognises there's no one in the goal square. Can he get a kind bounce? He can't. Always seem to be to the right-hand side of the goal post. So a couple of opportunities missed there for Perth, but some promising sign to this opening quarter as they look to turn around the 4-point lead that currently sits with the Falcons. 2 minutes 50 on the clock remaining. Ran his full measure there. West Perth, and back and forth footy, tumbling ball. Andrich involved in that play, going back with the fly was Cameron, and he can set up the next passage of play. Low ball, it's a good one though for Barr. Barr, he likewise goes short to Baker, recent debutant for the Perth Footy Club and the Colts. All of them out there in season 2026. Barraclough again, another touch to his name off a standing step, just going past Fowler, who don't think he got any touch to that, so we brought back in through Carls. Up and under ball. Can someone take a mark? How's the mark there though? Barraclough wasn't quite what Perth were after and made it look pretty easy in the end. Andrich, hard to miss with the bleach blonde hair. That's going to sail over the boundary line though. Not what West Perth needed deep in this opening quarter. Last few moments of this opening quarter. And umpires again having a consult, but from here it looked like it was out of bounds, and West Perth seemed like they aren't arguing too much with it. And that's the exact call that it will be. So Perth almost a gift on the brink of quarter time. Tough pocket though to nail this one. Might not have any option deep in the first quarter. And that one to the near side. So another point which they'll be looking to tidy up. They do go to double digits, joining West Perth in that sense. 3 points the margin with 40 seconds remaining in this opening term. Don't expect too many unnecessary risks here for the Falcons. It's in the trusty hands of Fitch, who goes short to Wayne. Wayne, very casual. Umpire said not 15, but Boxer, I should say, was eager to play on anyway. They do bring it up towards half forward. Lafrane just overran it. Getting a little hand on it in the end to impact Falcons. Glidden around the corner. Lafrane, his eyes light up, dances around a couple of opponents, and that might work out in the end, so they might have the last laugh of this opening term. It looked unlikely, and credit to Boxer for really taking the game on when some would say he wouldn't need to with the lead that they have, but this would get it out to beyond a goal for West Perth. Perth will be disappointed at this end if this can sail through. From directly in front. Umpire doesn't move, and that'll lift the spirits of West Perth. McGuan on the end of it. Players get around him, and that's a nice way to finish the opening term for West Perth. One end to the other, and Lynn McGuan is on the end of the 6-pointer. So quarter time here from Mineral Resources Park. West Perth leading by 9 points. Perth ruining a few opportunities, but they're certainly creating them, which will be their challenge and something that they'll continue to provide for themselves into the second quarter. We'll take a short break and be back for the other side of the continuation here from Mineral Resources Park, the second quarter, right after this, live on the WAFL official YouTube channel.
Hey mates, ready to power up your career with EGT? As a proud sponsor of the WAFL, we're all about teamwork and training winners. With EGT, our apprenticeships in electrical trades are hands-on, so you can start working and earning faster, so you can forget the debt and dive straight into earning. Join us today and get the best of both worlds. Great training with the thrill of the game. Don't just dream about success, wire it up with EGT. Visit egt.net.au and kickstart your career.
They could have made a round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Oh, don't tell if you do.
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. I waited for you in the passenger seat. There's only so far I can ride in your dreams. While you were chasing everything else but me, I'm starting to break out from your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. I'm not backing down, 'cause the future is now. Not backing down, 'cause the future is now. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
Welcome back to Mineral Resources Park. It's quarter time here in the EGT WAFL Colts. Perth trailing by West Perth at the first break by 9 points, 1-4. Trailing West Perth 3-1. Looking at some of the major ball winners. Blake Jones is up to incredible 14 disposals for West Perth. Hyatt Barraclough also up to 11 disposals, double digits, while Mason Barr leads Perth in that count. Goal kickers, single goals to McGuan on the quarter time siren, Max Bowers and also Lachlan Jones, while Will Moffitt's kicked the only goal from long range for Perth. So 9 points is the deficit as we head towards this second quarter. Well, thanks to EGT, you're live on the WAFL official YouTube channel, where all Colts and WAFL W games are housed in season 2026. Second term underway. Live from Mineral Resources Park. Resuming battle, Dunlop and Wayne. Dunlop went off the deck. Little fumble there from McGuan. Catch up, out wide. Spain throws it on the boot. Fist came there. Falcons. Just has to take the tackle and use the boundary line as his friend did, Ivan Kovic. Wayne with a double hand. High free kick, that'll be every day of the week, and West Perth thought they might have got stuck into search there, but doing the team and mature thing, getting on with business. Down the line on this broadcast side. Good mark and jump. Well, he didn't really mark in the end, but just stuck the hands out, and it stuck there for Jones. Just kicked the goal already. Having to go back here, Garrett spinning out. Stripped of it there was Harris. Big kick around the corner. It's all West Perth though, and Wayne takes the safe mark. Will be his 10th disposal, the West Perth ruck. In the forward pocket. The Frayne elected not to jump, wanted to crumb and predict where the ball was going to land, and comes the other way. Just inside the field of play for Dunlop. Short ball. Ball to play on. Back in the direction that it came from. Again, Barraclough starting to cause some headaches for Hall, who's his direct opponent at the moment, and more broadly Perth. Guan into the middle of the ground, just missed Alone there. Quick kick, will be Warner on the end of it. Alone will follow up his work. His jumper was held the whole time and wants to play advantage. Keen to do that. Perth is hoping for the best with that kick and going to come back the way of the D's. It's just taken off the footy for a little moment there, enough to be a free kick. Inside 50, Barraclough went for the spoil. Was Paul going to claim the mark? He felt like he knew the whole way that it was always touched. That ball around. Catch up. Solid tackle and a bit too solid in the end, just giving away the free kick to Alone. Fault the attack there from Ketchup, and the attack on the ball was even better from his teammate. That's another behind though, so hopefully not a trend that continues for Perth, but they've now kicked 5 behinds. They trail by 8 points here in the second quarter. Boxer at a full back in the direction of Wayne. Too much for him to stretch, and that's saying something. Bitch circled nicely. Alone's at a high free kick. Perth will say he ducked. Umpire begged to differ. Alone up towards half forward. That next link in the chain, what West Perth is searching for. Fitch in a one-on-one, spins opponent 360, and Barr pretty content to see the boundary line win out. Neither rucks really go at it. Sturch around the corner. Trying to protect the space was Sleeth. Boxer shows his pace over the top to McGuan. He might get it back here. Nasty cop there in the head from Boxer, but he's straight up. Captain saying, I can do anything. Get up straight away. Quick hack ball out there from Carls. Good mark in the air taken by Dunlop. Goes out wide. Ketchup, long sweeping handball. Might try and get the 1-2 back. Bouncing ball, interesting there. Would have been holding the ball potentially if it was in the process. The umpire said it wasn't. Feel like the pressure and tension's lifted up a bit. Start this second. Again, Lafrane slightly mistiming his run there. Cameron was playing for the free kick. Harris tucked up along the boundary line. Kept his composure, back in the direction of the frame. And a hack ball breaks out of jail for now. Might come back in a similar direction though. Roost gets the 1-2. Jones will feed it back. Quick kick. Squeezed out in the nick of time. Only as far as Perth though. Ketchup's on. Saving it from Barr. And he can go off to the races. He can take a bounce, which he does. Puts it in the space of Bennell, who took a good mark in the air. Ketchup's running back with the fly. And that's a nice bit of link-up synergy play. Warner, an unlikely target up forward, takes the mark. So Lucas Warner comes in. Perth need a steady up. They've made their own opportunities tonight. Loves it off the boot, and that's an opportunity worth savouring. Getting a bit more bang for buck through Lucas Warner. And it's back to a 2-point ball game. Again, back in the middle, Ketchup got it from Dalton. Dalton outside of the boot, up towards half-forward clearance. Nonetheless, good reading in the air. Ivan Kovic, sweeping handball from Andrich. West Perth looking to break clear once again. Good pick up. Fowler circles back on his left. Didn't get the purchase he was after. Up towards half-forward. Cameron came, so did Wayne. At the full, Sturch. Player losing their boot in the process. That's just the required 15 that Lone mobs up. Looking to stretch and having to show courage in the air. Sturch, front on contact. They're keen to play on. Boxer recognising the initiative. The initiative from the captain pays off. Defender becomes a goal kicker and says, I'll lead by example. And when the play forgot, well, the rest of the players just stopped. He continued on. And that was quite the finish there from Luca Boxer. Not a notable goal kicker, spending majority of his time down back, but a rebounding half back at that. And the captain says, all your good work, Perth. I'll just put another on the scoreboard to take it out to beyond a goal again. Eight points here at Mineral Resources Park. From the outset again, Jones wins his own footy just about, but Workman in a one-on-one with him. He's often getting the best midfielders, as he did with Noah Braun a fortnight ago, where he got 52 disposals with Noah Braun, but Workman, very good player in his own right, both offensively and defensively. I think he's got the job on Jones. Jones up to 16 disposals. Good mark taken on the second juggle from Sleeth. Sleeth, low daring ball. Perfect in the end for Barraclough. Real staple in that defence. Another player who could be unlucky to not be in the 18s. The mark taken there by Cameron in front. Cameron. Nice ball for a fellow left footer and Workman. Workman trying to honour the lead. Sleeth alone, mobbing up across half back. Got nowhere to go to. There's a foot race on. First to it, a little bit of time on his side. the number 30 of Krahulik. Getting the 1-2, going back with the flight. Or rather, it's Glover, number 31. Loading in from the side, Sturch. To keep that in, not quite. Dalton moving into the ruck. Tries to get his own footy as well. Sturch around the corner. Not sure that would be with the required 15, but good intercept there. Can they get it out to Paul, who's unmarked? They can't. Have to settle for the ball up. Workman pushed off it. Kick smothered off the boot of Baker. Jones. Good mark in the air, Lafrane. Doesn't need a lot of it to make an impact. Just waiting for the cavalry to go back, and going back just that the way he wanted to. Ducati can go back and slot this, get it out to double digits. Xavier Ducati. Left foot up. Keeps it relatively low. Looks like a setup in the end, which almost paid off. Harris might have called for the handball receive, and umpire says that was your prior. You had a play to give it to you. Elected not to. Caught holding the ball. Across the ground now. Darmody. Long down the line, just in front of us here. Dalton had a good piece of it. One back in board. No one on the mark for Roost. Box up. Similar position where he grabbed that ball to kick that last goal. Floats it into the pocket. Gives Lafrane a chance, and it's a great mark taken in the air from Laith Dufresne. He's just threatened tonight without firing on the scoreboard. Had the first shot of the night, but this time from the left-hand side of screen, he can hop through his first if he can kick truly. Laith Dufresne, 5 matches, 6 goals this year. That slams into the woodwork, so has to wait a little bit extra for his 7th. He'll be hoping that comes at some point tonight. Ketchup, unmarked. To play on with Carls. Umpire said to play on. A couple of players had a fair piece of it around the corner. Staying out of it was Andrich. Got the crumbing ball in the end. Quick kick on the left. Bouncing ball, sits uncomfortably. In the end, they just have to brace themselves for the tackle. Harris and Zucchetti applying the pressure. Big palm there, coming the way of Jones. Fitch putting his head over it in a one-on-one. Sleeth kept his feet momentarily, trying to rip it out. Is that a trip? Umpire might have been blindsided. Workman breaks out of the pack. Box has to go back. Pull came late. Andrich slapping ball, but only as far as the Perth player. Around the corner, getting up and under ball. Fitch going back with the flight, likewise his teammate. Good run and jump there by McGuan. First tonight for West Perth. Ripping it out when he was almost secondary. There was Bowers, another goal kicker this evening. And that's an important mark taken in Perth. Alone First to the ball. Long handball over the top, suited. Catch up. Here to call kick it. That's exactly what they do, the D's. Just going not 100%, but that worked out okay. For Hills, around the corner, there's a genuine one-on-one. Couple players there. Support comes the back half boxer. Great stuff there by the captain. He might try and get the 1-2 as well. The Shepherd's going to be applied. That'll help him out. Shows his speed. Runs his full measure. Hand passes to himself in the end. Could have to take a bounce. Ran a long way in the end. Could have definitely run his full measure there, but umpire let it play out. One end to the other. That's the aim for West Perth. Perth trying to do their own bounce off half back. Mark taken just inside the field of play by Spain. Low ball. Just a fraction short there of Sleeth, who's worked hard tonight. Again, it's a bit too much on it the other way. It's been a very back and forth game, I will say. But 9 points, it's a good margin from a game situation. Barraclough's claiming the mark. Umpire said was previously touched. Bowers. Around the corner. That bounce did not suit Perth whatsoever, especially Mehring. They consolidate here, Perth. Catch up, tremendous tackle right when they needed it. And catch up. In fact, it's going to go the other way, holding the free kick. Him to call, you feel for him a bit there. Catch up. You can't believe it. And again, handball receive. That'll be touched off the boot. It's not going to make the distance anyway. Off the set to a couple of hands. Going to burrow their way through Lafraine. Hand pass almost to the goal mountain. Running it over was Carls. Low ball. Good one. Workman as a player on the other side. They're out here, Perth. Got all the time in the world, although West Perth players spread across that far side. Sleeth just has to wait for more cavalry to get back. Backtrack a little bit, but they keep the ball in their possession. Chipping ball, no one really meant for, but looks like they've put Warner forward permanently, at least for the second quarter. Their last goal kicker, their second goal kicker of the night. Running ball over the top, showing his blitz speed on full display. Glidden can run, take a bounce. Extraordinary pace. The finish matches it. Yes, it does. That was something else there from Sam Glidden. And he was too fast for them all in the end. Second goal of the season, 6 games, Sam Glidden. Read it best, and the rest told the story. He nailed the goal on the run. 16 points is where it lies. With 6 minutes remaining still in the second quarter. A little bit to play out in regards to how this first half is concerned. Catch up this time, he will get a free kick his way. Who be pleased about that. Going back with the flight to impact slightly. It's Jones. Beaufort. You can almost kick it from here, judging by his recent performances from far out. Handball received from Barr. He tries to do the tap and comes back into his grasp, loses footing in the process. Sleeth says, I'm just going to bang this where I can. And Warner, not sure West Perth would have planned for him, drifting forward and making impact, but he does just that, and he can go back and try and kick his second, and that would be 2 out of 3 if he can nail it for Perth. Good mark in the air. Timing has run well. So Warner makes no mistake. Passion on display. And if you're Aaron Ballantyne, you're keeping him forward surely, even if his native position is behind the ball. Four minutes remaining in the opening half. 10 points, they've got it back to Perth. What can lie ahead in this last 4 minutes as West Perth get the clearance. Here is Wayne spending more time up forward around the corner. This would hurt Perth if they can get the instant reply. West Perth, they do. Seem to be a tale of the opening half. Every time Perth do fire back, West Perth say, we're going to break away again. The goal coming to Zucchetti, it seems, the number 47. West Perth remaining in control of this one. Again from the outset, palm down, Jones in there with Ketchup. Got a high free kick, umpire said no. Through the legs, Baker. For another ball up. Jones, possession number 18, Hospital, hand pass. Fitch has a bit of time to move with, has to go back. Jones might call for it back here, he does. Big chipping ball, came off the boot of Barker. Around the corner, only as far though. It was Dalton. Couple of bites of the cherry there. Unlucky maybe not get a free kick the way of Perth. It would hurt them if West Perth get another one. Bit of miscommunication in the air. Comes the way of Wayne. Can he jog off his opponent? He can. Tricky effort there to keep this ball in. And that's reflective in the boundary throw-in that the umpire calls for the whole ball going out. Palm down, Sturch. Again, handball the option. Them, Harris. Reeling in there was Jones with one arm. That was impressive. Follows up with the dirty work on the ground. Under a minute to play. Saw West Perth go one end to the other. Can Perth do something similar to close out this first half? Sturch. Handball out. Umpire just circling and eventually the whistle comes. Half time at Main Group Stadium. South Fremantle comfortably in the lead with 50 points over Peel Thunder. Big start round 7. Can they go one end to the other? Here's Mofert. They're going to have to be quick. Sleeth hacks it forward. There's a 2-on-2. The man of the quarter for Perth is Warner, who's there. Can he get the boot to ball? How does it bounce? Is it going to bounce all ends up? It just goes to the left-hand side of the screen. That would have been a great way for Warner to cap off his first half despite still trailing. That'll just about do it in the opening half. Warner's slow to his feet. Hopefully he's okay because he's been a real focal point since he's gone up there for Perth in the second quarter. So hopefully he's all good to go and can take a breather at half time to be ready for the second half, which is where we're up to up until this point. Half time from Mineral Resources Park. It's Perth 3-6-24 trailing West Perth 6-3-39. Friday night footy here from Mineral Resources Park. You're live on the WAFL official YouTube channel. We'll be back after the break for the second half, but for now we've got a half time live from Mineral Resources Park.
Hey mates, ready to power up your career with EGT? As a proud sponsor of the WAFL, we're all about teamwork and training winners. With EGT, our apprenticeships in electrical trades are hands-on, so you can start working and earning faster, so you can forget the debt and dive straight into earning. Join us today and get the best of both worlds. Great training with the thrill of the game. Don't just dream about success, wire it up with EGT. Visit egt.net.au and kickstart your career.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. I waited for you in the passenger seat. There's only so far I can ride in your dreams. While you were chasing everything else but me, I'm starting to break out from the gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. I'm not backing down, 'cause the future is now. Not backing down, 'cause the future is now. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
Welcome back to Mineral Resources Park. Second half just around the corner between Perth and West Perth. It's West Perth who lead by 15 points at the main break. 3-6 Perth, trailing West Perth 6-3. Players have had a break and ready to go. Second of 2 Friday night games to kickstart round 7 of the EGT WAFL Colts. Goal kickers Boxer, Bowers, Glidden, Jones, McGuan and Zucchetti, while 2 to Lucas Warner out of their 3 for Perth. The other goal to Wilt Mofit. 15 points is the deficit they're going to have to try and reel back in the second half of the EGT WAFL Colts. You're live on YouTube. It's the second half of Mineral Resources Park. West Perth leading by 15 points. Jones doing the ruck work there for West Perth. Sturch gets the first clearance. Pace of Boxer, kicked the goal and had 17 disposals to be amongst the best for the Falcons. Has to go back to reset things for the Falcons. Low ball. Fitch couldn't quite hold the mark and he's hunted down in the end. Umpire giving the benefit of that. Clean pick up for Perth. There's no one home though. Barraclough, can they just touch it through? And Boxer just make sure he does that with enough pressure in the 9-metre protected area. So 18, so his 19th in fact disposal for the West Perth captain. Out of full back. Reaching over the top was Dunlop, around the corner, did his own work. Standing underneath it though, Falcons. Boxer's going to get the handball received back. Cameron though intercepts and he's off. Wasn't the best ball, but finds his target in Barr, who's a late inclusion tonight. Originally named as an emergency, but looks like Gregor O'Connor is out for Perth off the lineup. Andrich out wide. Carls almost had one arm pinned, and umpire said he did exactly. Could be almost 50 metres in the end for not giving it back correctly. Not to be. Attacking it well was Ketchup. Needs to get back on his right side. Used the support there of Spain. Hand pass over the top back in the direction of Carls. Trying to pick it up unsuccessfully. Was Cameron. French. He was also caught as well, but got the handball out when he needed to. Fowler's in there for West Perth. And off a standing step, Maring clears for now in the direction of Paul. Haven't called his name too much tonight. Barraclough's done a good job. Wheels back on his left boot. Identifies the one-on-one. Fitch is down there. Both players are holding each other just as equally. Darroch, the deepest player back for Perth. You can hear the rise of ball be called out. Trying to pick it up. Can't do so. Vanderland not the worst result for West Perth in that instance. Ball's locked into the front half of Perth. Paul wasn't quite expecting it. Went the tap approach. Quick kick. French. Pretty eager to see that across, you'd think. Just saves it from being inbounded in the end. 52% possession in favour of West Perth with a 14-point lead to match. Early stages of the third term. Workman pumps it high more than anything. Boxer couldn't quite have a run on the jump. The slap comes down to Ketchup. Good spin out. Mofit. Sturch had more time than he probably realised in the end, but it might work out okay. Good mark taken. Watching the ball the whole way was Bennell. And Perth be in much need of a good start in this third term. Bennell can go back and try and do that for his side. But Byron Bennell can't register a score in the end. Like that moment back, but pleasing to see Perth have got the ball in their front half. Only 14 points down at the moment. Barraclough, no one on the mark. Wants to go more inboard. Jones kept his composure despite not taking the mark. Kick was weighted okay enough for Fowler in the end. Andrich can be used. Got an extra player over the top, draws the opponent, goes over the top. Lafrane, it's a bit beyond his grasp, well enough to get the handball out. Evading through with ease. How's the finish? Does it match it? Yes, it does. Breaking through not one, not two, but multiple players. And the finish is Glidden. He's had a couple of beauties tonight, both on the run, both at full speed. But yet again, having the composure still to settle on the kick and nail it over the goal umpire's hat for a goal. $20 points has gone out to after being 15 at the main break. Goal to Glidden. He had his second of the night. Sturch, Workman. Went against the handball back over the top of Sturch. Elected to go for the kick. Through the hands there of Boxer. Slight taking his eyes off it. Mofert. Back in the direction of Sturch. Alone. His teammate was with company the whole way. Sturch again. Dunlop along the ground. Clean pick up there from Hills. And then you're going to need more of that. Much needed finish in the end for Xavier Hills. The pickup was impressive and backing up with the finish as well. They'll take them in whatever ways they can. It seems like a goal on debut. Xavier Hills as well. 3 touches tonight and Perth players getting around him. Darmody in the ruck. Perth, can they get 2 in a row? It's been a challenge for them in that sense tonight. Evading through, Fowler, Jones. Sturch has to break through. Jones there. Playing for the free kick was Cameron. Umpire wasn't having any of it, and that ball won't be coming out. Ball comes out, big fist there, making sure of it. Andrich. Luca Boxer and Blake Jones both up to 21 disposals apiece. Jones has just quietened down a fraction after having 14 of those in the first quarter, but credit to the players around him as well for being able to step up in the contest as well now. As French just doing the ruck work with Dunlop. Good tackle there from Harris. This came. Barr. He's up to 18 possessions to lead Perth, which is pretty handy considering he was a late inclusion. Barraclough, terrific in the air, reading it best. 8 marks next to his name. Boxer again, his dash is on full display. Hand pass. He's eager to continue this play further up as well. Get the 1-2 back. Well, he won't. Harris stealing that from him, but that won't matter if this can link up for another shot on goal. It can't. Taking the mark. Garrett in the back half. Sturch. Out and out to Baker. Up and under ball. Comes down the way of Sleeth. And drawing the opponent was Fowler. Just miscued with the handball ever so slightly. Enough though for Perth to impact in a high free kick though. Coming the way of the Falcons. Jones lowers his eyes. Wanted Zucchetti. Jones not too happy with the delivery there. He knows it as well, but hard to fault too much of his other work tonight. Comes down the way of Sturch. Right place, right time. Around the corner. A couple of Falcons on the ground. Hopefully they're okay. Comes back the way of Fowler. He can keep it in on his left. Up and under ball. In pole position the whole way. Garrett again. He's held his own tonight. Sturch, the next link in the chain. Too much on it. Jones spinning out. For Campbell. Alone. Might get it back here. Jones. Off the outside of the boot. Kick smothered. Interesting handball came from Baker. Not 15. Didn't reach Darmody anyway. And the bounce didn't treat him as Wayne picks up. Misfiring targets on both ends at the moment by hand and by foot. Wayne imposing his figure on the contest. Umpire circling. Delayed whistle coming up here, and it might be holding the ball. In fact, it's not. Just making sure of it. The umpire letting it go for a fraction or two more to see if it was going to come out. Didn't, but we're throwing up once more. Nice hit out there. Dalton. Baker. Around the corner. Clearing ball. It went inside 50. Players down for both sides. Wayne and looks like Darmody slow to his feet. Scoring's just slowed up for a little bit here. Workman trying to change that for Perth into the corridor. Wanted Barr. Having other ideas for the Falcons though. Quick kick out. Dwyer. This broadcast side. Ivankovic inside 50. And timing his run to perfection was Jones. He's hardly put a foot wrong tonight. Finishes the goal. He's up to 23 disposals and now hits the scoreboard as well. And he's going for a break, it seems, which can be a bit of an interesting decision when you're so on, as they like to say. But doesn't take away from what he's been able to do. 24, in fact, I should say, and a goal. Heading towards a huge night. He's already made significant impact so far. Like he might be back in the middle though. Not taking a rest in terms of the bench is concerned. Thought he might have after kicking that goal and then running straight to the bench, as we tend to see. Might get it back here again. Can't dispose of it. It's holding the ball though. Chipping ball. Can he set up another after kicking one himself? Expect Sewell to usually take those marks. Here is French. Has a bit of time to work with. Kicks up towards the tip of the square. Ball just sails over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. Rahulik to do the inbounding duties. Look to go conventionally down the line. Bit of a push out. Nudge seemed okay. Got the numbers here. West Perth. Alone. In the foot race. Jones tucked up against the boundary line on his non-preferred. You'd barely know it though. Seems good to centralise that ball. Lafrane runs down his opponent. Clean pick up there from Fitch. That's the speed that he showed earlier in the season, the pre-season combine, or before the season I should say. Perth Caught the back foot a little bit here. Sturch combines with Carls and they break clear. Wobbler off the boot isn't ideal, but let's see how it plays out. It actually works out okay. But Dunlop back into the corridor. Sleeth expecting to take that mark. Worked hard for his opportunities tonight. Fitch. Some on the right, and that's a nicely weighted kick for Barraclough. Alone. Back to Boxer. Good mix of being able to lock down his opponent and then also show his speed. Dalton, big handball out. Free kick for Roost. Drops the ball, but he's going to have to be called back onto his line. Which he won't be too pleased about because he did hit up a target, although the play was stopped in that process. Appreciate EGT's support across the WAFL Colts season as well. EGT WAFL Colts round 7 we find ourselves in. Kick to a similar position. Caught from behind there. Jones puts his head over it. He might try and get it back here. The possessions as he's eager to get up to number 30. One way then the other. How's the composure there? West Perth, that's been the story of their quarter so far. That is none different. Bowers kicks his second of the evening, and they look a class above in this third, as they've done since the second half began. Game high, 26-point margin. And West Perth are going to look to add to it here. Clearance coming out from Fowler. Mark taken, importantly, by Krahulik. Bar. Short to Baker. Here's Dalton on debut. He goes short. Helicopter in the end, but stays in the right area that they want it to. Ripping out their Sleeth. Impressive signs with that pickup. Hooking ball at the fall is number 53, Bennell. Put out of position there was Boxer, did well enough to slap it out of bounds. Comes down. Hanging this bit of play, holding free kick. That'll please the home side if they go back and make something of it. It is Mofet, who's already kicked one tonight. But he's lining up for the snap around the corner. Will Mofet, been a sharpshooter in his short Colts career so far. Highlighted tonight at this end and around the corner. He continues that in terms of the accuracy. Not the distance, doesn't register a score in the end. Barraclough hacks it out. Thought it was there, to be honest, from where I sat. Good mark taken though by Spain. Spain lowers his eyes and hits up. Catch up. It might be on the verge of his set shot capabilities. Jamison Ketchup often hits the scoreboard when he needs to. Runs out, he's called to play on. He's going to try and work it back right to left. He does exactly that. Jamison Ketchup puts it through. Perth bring it back down to 20. They're going to need a lot more, but Jamison Ketchup is a barometer for this Perth outfit. And he summed up that play as good as he could have. The whistle, it might come back that way to Perth as well. Holding free kick to Baker. 15th disposal for him coming up. Takes a run on the bounce. Didn't really need to, but whatever. Floats your boat. Both it. Big kick out. That one clearly not 15 metres. Paul, can he turn back on his right side? Boxer mobs up for West Perth. Barraclough general across the back line. Pinpoints it to the back pocket. Down the line, Jones there. Good mark taken in front. Up towards half forward, fell in the lap of Sturch. Carl's seen that many a time tonight, him bang it, but gets really good purchase on it. Through the hands there of Poole. Box up. Combining with McGuan and again out of the back half. Box up. Classy act. McGuan running out at full steam. Picks it up really well in the end. Darmody got a really crucial handball out. Baker attacks it well and is rewarded with a free kick. If they can get another one here, there's a 15-metre penalty for not giving it back there. So Bowers kick 2 tonight, just has a little bit of a brain fade. If they can get another one before three-quarter time, it's going to bring it back to a really interesting margin of under 3 goals. Of course, 20 as it currently stands can be kept in the contest as well, not out of the realms of possibility. A couple players down in that contest, umpires going to have to hold play. Here, the frustration, particularly from a Perth standpoint, as the clock continues to run. Yeah, hopefully will be enough time, though, for another scoring opportunity. Ketchup trying to pick it up cleanly. Had the teammate behind him, and Andrew takes a really good mark in front of a couple of Ds. We saw them go one end to the other at this end, close out the first. The mark there taken by Chapman. Former Subiaco line. Or son of Coach Steve out there. Down the line. Mark taken by French, just in the field of play. Alone, the intended target. Carl's read that best. Has often been the one to distribute in general play, but he gets a bit of time to hit up Dunlop, who hits up Mofit. Use Carl's on the rebound. Drive through the middle of the ground. Critical fist there. Boaks up. And now McGuan. This will suit Ketchup. Tries to turn his opponent inside out. He's going to be caught on his wrong side. Takes a bounce. Left-hand handball. Not quite on the same page was Darroch. He did apply a fierce tackle though. That ball locked in. Fascinating last quarter coming up no matter what happens in this last 40 seconds. But if Perth can get another one, as I said, just keep that door even more ajar. 1-2. Player over the top. And they're on here, West Perth. Could it be a sense of deja vu as they closed out the first? Wayne's going back. Foot race on there with Garrett, Wayne, and Garrett side by side. Lafrane is in there. Wayne wins out. Hand pass to French. Can he get back? Banana ball isn't successful, and that might just about be it to close out the third term. 21-point margin, seemingly the margin going into the last 25 minutes here. West Perth, quarter for them that they win by 6 points, and there's a bit of push and shove here at the 3/4 time break. So West Perth do win the quarter, but Perth just circling it back a little bit through Jamison Ketchup's goal in the end. Players wanting to leave that physicality for the last quarter. It's going to be a big 25 minutes coming up to close out this round 7 matchup between Perth and West Perth. West Perth, the visitors, lead by 21 points with 25 minutes left to play. We'll be back for that right after this, live on the WAFL official YouTube channel.
Hey mates, ready to power up your career with EGT? As a proud sponsor of the WAFL, we're all about teamwork and training winners. With EGT, our apprenticeships in electrical trades are hands-on, so you can start working and earning faster, so you can forget the debt and dive straight into earning. Join us today and get the best of both worlds. Great training with the thrill of the game. Don't just dream about success, wire it up with EGT. Visit egt.net.au and kickstart your career.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't tell me you do.
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Welcome back to Mineral Resources Park. 3/4 time here between Perth and West Perth in the EGT WAFL Colts for round 7. It's Perth trailing West Perth by 21 points with a quarter to play. It was 15 points the margin in favour of the Falcons at half time. They win the quarter in the third by 6 points, but Perth still in it. The quarter to play, anything can happen. Those goal kickers, Warner's kicked 2, both of them coming in the second. Hills, Ketchup, Moffitt also single goals, while Bowers, Glidden are the only multiple goal kickers for West Perth. They had singles to Boxer, Jones, who both have 28 disposals apiece under their belt. Also, Lockie Jones for West Perth with a goal. Glenn McGowan and Xavier Zucchetti for West Perth. So last quarter coming up. West Perth looking to close this one out and come away with the 4 points, but Perth won't die wondering. Comes to Jones. Possession number 29 is a clearance out the back. They're hoping to get it, but at mark taken. To be Garrett back there. Spain floating in from the side, as did Jones. Workman. Nice mark taken in the air. By Perth. That ball chopped off. Could have potentially gone for the mark rather than the spoiling approach. Boundary line wins out. Good push and shove happening off the ball. Wait for this boundary throw in to take shape. Dalton. Jones will get it back into the corridor. Gives Glidden a chance. Holding free kick. Eager to take the advantage of the Demons. They're going to have to take opportunities and take some risks. They're going to come away with this one. Barraclough's been hard to take down tonight from a Perth perspective. He's up to 10 marks, 20 disposals, continuing his consistent form across this EGT WAFL Colts season. They bring the ball to this broadcast side. Fowler got busy as this one's gone along as well. Short ball, just a required 15. Lafraine pops it over the top. Fowler to run back onto. Perth playing in front, a great mark there taken. Garrett's been amongst Perth's best tonight. He's marked just about everything that's come his way. Darmody can keep this ball. It's going to hug the boundary line. Carls does so. Umpired in by the whistle. Must not have been 15. Around the corner. How's it sit? Just misfiring the handball there. Harris. Dunlop combines. Pitches the last play back for West Perth. Darrick hot in his tail, but they did well enough to get it over the top to Barraclough, who takes his 11th mark. The frame. Now they use Boxer. Not for the first time tonight off half back. And again, overlap run comes through the option of McGuan. Low ball. McGuan might want it back here. Wayne. Chipping ball. Not too much tall timber down there. French may get a free kick back his way here, and he is. So Zach French yet to hit the scoreboard tonight in terms of a goal kick to behind. This will be disposal number 6. He can add a goal to his name tonight. Umpire does a bit of dancing and wasn't overly convincing, but doesn't matter. They score another one. They kick on West Perth. It'll be tough to stop from here, you have to say. Back in the middle again. Wayne ignored the handball receive option, went along the ground. Not sure he intended to do that. Slingshotted back the other way. Beaufort got a fist to it. Foot races on. Sleeth comes back to Boxer. Looked one way, then went the other. Nice ball up to Glidden. We can go short and has Jones just in front of us. Dufresne hasn't had a huge night in terms of the scoreboard's concerned, but done some nice things like that assist there for the other Jones in Lockie. The opener of the night. Lockie Jones, 10 players. Try and work it back right to left. See if he runs out on an arc here, if he's got the full distance in him with the set shot. No need to do that, just the way it is. Floating ball, not going to register a score in the end. Expect Perth to rush this through one or the other. They don't. Comes back out. Handball, interesting option there from Jones. Just to slap it on. Darmody in the direction of Dunlop. Fresh air in terms of the fist was concerned. Glidden tries to fend off. He's somewhat successful in the end. Has to backtrack here. Have the numbers through the frame. He's just playing a bit more behind the ball as it currently stands. Wants the player in Harris. Protected the space well. Beats it out. On the end of it now is Roost. He's caught though, and Perth credit for never giving up in that effort. Down the line, that's going to be intercepted. Glidden screaming for it centrally. The players get back for Perth's sake. Jones floats in from the side. That ball won't be able to be kept in. Ball thrown in, favours Dunlop. Not totally beyond reach for Perth, but seemingly unlikely from this position. Harris in and under. Jones, Harris, it spills out. But again, teams can't be split in this contest. Stays in the vicinity again. Hard to break through. That a high free kick, it sure will be. Perth players will argue that he dropped to his knees, but still high nonetheless. And Zucchetti, who's already hit the scoreboard tonight, can add to that here. Did not deviate off the boot. Zucchetti has another, and West Perth are well and truly on their way to 4 points. It's going to be a matter of what the margin is from here on out, you have to say. Beautiful kick straight over the goal umpire's hat. And 33 points it's broken out to now. Big tap. Dufresne spending some time in the middle. Assesses his options. Comes out. Does spill out in the end. Quick kick forward there from Bowers. And will Perth players wait for it? Is that a mark taken? It sure is. There's some nice moments in the back half, Perth, despite how much the ball's come in there tonight. Box up, might run and jump at this. Didn't get a full run at it. And holding the ball for a kick, which is an interesting decision, but nonetheless, Perth rewarded. Comes down the way. Bennell. Again, congested last quarter it's been so far. But those goals to West Perth. Jones. Outside of the boot, clever stuff. The contest. Staying down. Sewell. Harris is there. They sneak through. How about the combination there? 1-2. And the finish matches it. What a finish in the end from Taj Sewell. Combining there, almost as if it was a set play, dodging through the pack. And just curling enough so that the post didn't impact. The sprinklers have come on here, funnily enough. Here at Mineral Resources Park. Not sure what this means in terms of clock continuing. The clock continues, of course, but not sure how much play we'll get. They are saying stop the clock. The players come together. Not sure how much that's happened during games here at Mineral Resources Park, let alone any ground. Not ideal at all. Should be, well over 12 minutes still to play out by the time the umpires say stop the clock. So hopefully play will be not too far away. The sprinklers eventually coming off, finally. So the 10 minutes you see on the scoreboard there will be brought out to 12. So see the clock, the siren not go at the 0 mark, and that will be why with a couple of additional minutes added there. So back after a little delay due to the sprinklers, and final 12 or so minutes coming up. Mineral Resources Park, good mark taken by Hills. Again, thinking up nicely with Dunlop there. Baker, keen to play on, explore his options up forward. Barraclough's been hard to stop, but a nice mark taken in front. Barraclough can't believe his luck. He thought he touched that in the end. Darrick on the end of it. Can add his name to the score sheet. Late consolation prize. It looks like it's got to be if he can convert. Not going to make the distance in the end. It's just going to be set up. Nice crumbing there, but always looked like it was going to be not near the goal mount. Boxer keen to explore that far side. Barraclough takes a bounce. Not too often we see that. Can't execute it how he would have liked. High free kick coming back his way though. Another opportunity coming up here for West Perth inside 50. Sling seemed okay from an umpire standpoint. Harris, Lafrane, outside of the boot. And just falls short of clearing over the line for out of bounds on the full. Arm down. Going to trickle towards the boundary line. Kept in by Perth. Down the field, free kick it might be though. Into the corridor. Darmody finds Sturch. Running through. Over the back there is Bennell. Can he break free of his opponent? He can't. The call here is holding the ball. Barraclough has been rock solid all night, to say the least. Going back and forth with Barraclough as well. Boxer, lifting his disposal count. He might get it back here as well. Bit of kick to kick. Don't mind it for West Perth. They've got the game sewed up, and they have for a while. Daring ball this time, breaking clear of that. Catch up. And finish off his work, not quite. Mofit comes to support. Handball just out in the nick of time. Perth outside of the boot. But Barraclough was back there playing the goalkeeper role. Going to be called to play on. Go short to Jones. Goes to box up. Andrich. Back boxer. I tell you what, he could be close to 40 disposals. He's up to 34, it looks like, at the moment. Boxer. Over 7 minutes remaining. That ball wrapped up. Just having a look to next week for these teams quickly. Perth play Swan Districts at Steel Blue next Saturday morning. While West Perth, of course, have the annual Derby game against East Perth on Monday. That game at home, HIF Health Insurance Oval, 9:15. Bit of time between now and then. Long break in terms of Colts footy between Friday night and Monday. Lafrane over his head. Carls gets back. He doesn't have a whole heap of support around him, but did well enough to get the handball out. The direction here of Ketchup. Ketchup goes short to Sturch. Sturch slams it on the boot. Long down the boundary line. Perth outnumbered here. Comes away with Jones. Right place, right time. Comes to Fitch. Fitch one way than the other. He was indecisive. Lucky with the handball back out to Barraclough. Barraclough has Glidden and they can backtrack right across the mount to Andrich. Andrich goes to Fowler. Fowler hugs that boundary line. And doing everything right. Jones was trying to take the mark and tap it on. It was an interesting decision in the end. Boxer again. Session number 36 coming up. That was the dummy. Low ball. Not his best though. Dalton, he was off. Took a step ahead there. And he's going to be caught in the end by Jones. And 50 metres in the end as well. So it's not going to matter too much in terms of the ultimate penalty of the scoreboard, but still another goal from directly in front coming up for Jones. He can add his name to the multiple goal scorer list after kicking the very first of the night. He's had 18 disposals as well, so a fair night at the office for the big man. He executes another goal. It's getting out to pretty convincing margins in the end, and for Perth, all their losses have been above 50 points comprehensively, so it is a big concern when they are losing big to other teams in the competition, but we know they are a developing side, as all teams are in Colts footy, but new coach, so can't be too critical of them, and have to pay credit to West Perth as well with how they've been able to play, particularly the second half. Final few minutes coming up through the hands of Jones. Workman has to play with him the whole way. Can't pick it up, has to go off the deck. Fitch is there. Glidden. Fitch remained out of it. Smartly done. Wayne combines. Handball comes out. Dunlop. Handballs in hope more than anything. Darragh has to hold his ground. With one arm, reels it in, Glidden. Perth have the numbers, they can try and surge forward, but the ball might be turned over. Luckily it's not. Cameron out to Sturch. Bit too much on that. Alone. French attacked it well. Wayne out wide. To Mark Carls, he's done some nice things tonight. Been under a lot of pressure. Good mark taken. Quietly as well. Hard Barraclough up to 18 marks now. Going to go back. There is Barraclough, in fact. McGuan. That kick impacted though in the air. Again, tacking it well, Barraclough. Went to ground but got the handball out when he needed to. Open goal face, Dunlop if he can kick it there. Couple of players going back, Alone's one of them. Might try and tap it through, he does so, enough pressure to be okay with that. Jones. Mark taken Sting being taken out of this game a little bit in the last few minutes. Harris has drifted forward. He'd love to kick a goal to close this one out. Can't do so though. Bar makes the mark. 24 disposals, 8 marks for him as a late inclusion. You take that from a personal standpoint. Sturch flying in. Paul. More players go to ground. Andrich, not his best handball. To get rid of it, that'll be holding the ball. Alone caught there by Baker. Come away with Jones just through his hands. Barraclough again, 34 disposals next to his name now, out of the back half. A little bit of competition between those three, Jones, Barraclough, and also Boxer. Sturch bypasses his opponent. No one there apart from Barraclough, who takes another mark. 18 marks, or rather 19 now. Gives it over to Harris, who can go off to the races. Can they get one more? Put the full exclamation mark on it. Here's Chapman. He does just that. It's the coach's son who puts the full exclamation mark on it, adds his name to the score sheet. Players come from everywhere. And this has been a dominant second half for West Perth. They were only up by 15 points at half time, and they've really looked a class above ever since. They go up to a margin of exactly 50 points. And there's the siren. So West Perth do it comfortably in the end. 50-point winners here at Mineral Resources Park. They go to a record of 4-3 on the EGT WAFL Colts ladder. 5-9-39 Perth, defeated by 14-5, 89 West Perth. 50 points exactly in Perth. All their losses, unfortunately, have been by that margin or more in season 2026. It was a closer first half than the scoreboard reflects at the end. Looking at some of the key movers in the end, it's hard to go past those three that I mentioned a lot at the back end. Luca Box up, 36 disposals, a goal next to his name. Captain for West Perth. Blake Jones also ends up with 36 and a goal as well. 5 tackles next to it. Taj Barraclough, 35 disposals across the back line. Took a staggering 19 marks as well, intercepting and really locking down opposition forwards whenever the ball went in there. From a goal kicking perspective, Lucas Warner kicked 2 goals in the second quarter for Perth. Other than that, though, they couldn't get going. Singles to Ketchup, Hills, Beaufort, and for West Perth, Max Bowers kicked a couple. So did Sam Glidden on the run. Lachlan Jones, 1 late and 1 to open proceedings. Xavier Zucchetti, 2 goals. French, as well as those single goals to Tyson Chapman at the very end. Luca Boxer, Blake Jones, Flynn McGuan, and Taj Sewell. The players shake hands. Here had an interesting delay in the last quarter with the sprinklers coming on, but thankfully got back out there to close this one out for round 7. Of course, WAFL Colts continues on for the remainder of round 7. A couple of games tomorrow, Claremont and East Perth at 9 AM, Rero Fitness Stadium, and also Swans and Subi 9:15 at Steel Blow Oval, which can be both caught on YouTube. We're all games of house in season 2026 along with the WAFL W. But for tonight, that just about does it here from Mineral Resources Park. On behalf of everyone, it's Ethan Roth signing off from the commentary box. Some outstanding numbers for West Perth, resulting in a 50-point win for the Falcons away from home.